All right, let me walk you through this N8N template. We are doing something quite simple, which is we take some brand that you're writing ad copy for, you write in a headline, and then you write the description. You submit. So this form is created by N8N. This is a nice headline. So whatever ad copy you want to put in here, this is just some copy line that I used to use for Ladder. Just submit that, and then it comes into the output here. And then we run it through an LLM. What I'm asking it to do is to come up with 8 new, very creative variations on this Google ad by changing the headline description of both, giving it the existing headline description, which just drags in from here. And you can see that's what it looks like filled in. And then information about the brand. And then I've given it some examples of types of copy that you can have. So when you execute this step, it runs it. This is specifically with the Google model. And you can see that here, Google Gemini chat, I've added a model to the chain and I've added a structured output parser. And yeah, you can see that it output the schema in the right format. It started with the one that I entered, and then it came up with a bunch of new experiments here. So we test your growth. That's pretty cool, actually. 10,000 tests your growth, certainty and growth, skip the guesswork, grow. All right, so we're going to see which one performs best. So we're going to execute this step with Rally. We have an API key, and then just sending it to that URL with these parameters. And this is specific to Rally, but we're using the Google model and then sending in our prompt here. So we've given it all of the different options, and we're just asking it which one would you click on. And that's going to run that through 100 different AI personas, and we have the votes, like the options here. So we have this step, which pulls out for the individual personas, what are the different responses? So it just pulls out the responses. And then we have some code to calculate the score, which just basically takes each of the headlines, descriptions, and which option it was, and then counts as a percentage what the CTR was. So how many AI agents clicked on each one. And then I have just a really basic thing that creates a HTML report. And you can see grow without the guesswork. That actually worked best. So 59% click-through rate. But we had these other options which performed as well. And sometimes we actually managed to beat the original, which is quite cool. But the great thing about this is that it's all fully automated. You could hit this as an endpoint with every ad that you create, and you can just see if you can beat it using AI. And then you're using AI to check whether the performance is good as well, because you have this AI focus group of 100 people who are based on your customers, and they're trying to check which of these things would they click on. And that makes a really big difference to performance if you do that consistently across every ad in your account. You can catch some that are not likely to perform, and then you can also identify some other winners that maybe you hadn't thought of, proven growth strategies, or we test, you grow. Like this didn't do that well in the tests, but I actually quite like that. And maybe I could try it with a different description or something. Cool. All right. So hopefully that shows you a little bit about this workflow. I call it the fan out creative strategy, because you take one idea and then fan it out to 8 different things and then condense it back down to the one that you're going to run.